This is the Golf Club 2019, and I'm going to continue the round I started earlier on my new course, which is called Westerberg Clearings. So in a previous video I played through the front nine. Let's see what the back nine looks like. So I'm hoping I can just continue, and it'll start me on hole 10. Let's see if this works. There we go, hole number 10. So, how are we doing? So we're one over because we had a complete nightmare on one of the holes, I seem to recall. But we're on the back nine. I think the back nine is probably my favourite nine. I think there's some nice holes on the back nine. This is a par 3. It's the first look we'll get at this little pond here, which, as you can see, is kind of on the edge of 3 different holes. First one is the par 3 10th, which also goes over the fairway of, I think, the 15th. So this is something that I wanted to do with this course. I wanted to have a forest feel, so there's lots of trees around, particularly around the edges of the course. But it's also quite compact, so a lot of the fairways run next to each other, a lot of the greens are next to a fairway or next to another green. So I wanted to have forest feel, but also quite a compact course. So if you mess with a shot, you're probably more likely to end up on the wrong green or the wrong fairway rather than stuck behind a tree, which is something that I like forest courses, but if you hit something slightly offline and you just get a tree right in front of you, I find that very annoying. So there isn't too much trouble from trees on this course. Anyway, this is a par 3. It's a decent length par 3. And this is this is an awkward wind to play it with that pond there. So that's probably going to be a bit long, even with the wind, but it'll get over the water. That's probably going to be a bit short. I could try something a bit fancy. So let's go. To be honest, we might just go safe and go. If we go with a 5-iron, we'll end up on the green rather than in the water. I think that's a sensible play here. Oh, unless no, a very slow swing. In the long grass. There we go. What a horrible shot. I don't know where that very slow swing came from. So we're in the heavy rough. We're in the long grass. We found a nasty spot here. At least we've got plenty of green to work with. That's a lobweb pitch. I think we need something a bit longer than that. Sand wedge pitch. Is that going to be enough? So heavy rough is going to take 80% off that. Which, into the wind as well, uphill. Let's go for a gap wedge pitch. This might be a bit long. We'll see. Fast swing. Yeah, so that's definitely going to be a bit long, but that's not too bad. So there isn't that much trouble right by the fairways, but if you hit a very slow swing, then you could end up anywhere. Little bit of movement. I'm just going to tap this very gently. There we go. So we got away with a par there, after a horrible tee shot. Well, this is one of my favourite holes. This is the par 5 11th. It's a downhill tee shot, and you're kind of firing towards the tree line. So if you take a driver, you might want to move it a bit right to left, or try and carry the bunker. So it's a kind of right to left tee shot, then a left to right approach. And oh wow, we've got the pin right at the back of the green. But the green slopes from front to back a certain extent, which will help you reach pins at the back. So we've got a very helpful wind here. This hole is set up so if the wind's helping you on the drive, it won't be helping you on the approach shot. So it's helping us make the most of the fairway here. So the wind was helping us move it a little bit around the bend there. But now we've got a problem because we need to bend it around these trees, but the wind is going the other way. So we might have to put a little bit of fade on this. See, it's sloping downhill a little bit, so if it lands there we might be okay. But the wind's against us, so if I mess this shot up, I'm probably going to hit a tree. What else we got? And there's a couple of bunkers on the right, a long thin bunker on the left. Let's see what this does. Downhill lie as well, which will help us make the distance. That's not bad. Pretty happy with that. Very happy with that. That I think is the best shot I've played on this, certainly in this round. Right, so chance of an eagle. A little bit of left to right at the start. A little bit of right to left at the end, but not really much going on. Not that much going on. Let's try that. Beautiful. And that's an eagle. I was going to say that the back 9 is probably slightly harder than the front 9. But there's two par 5s on both the front 9 and the back 9. So there's plenty of chances. There's a chance to score an eagle on all of them, I think, depending on what the wind's doing. So this is the par 4 12th. This is the first hole that I created on this course. So you've got a kind of wide landing area here if you want to club down and use a 2 wood or a 3 wood. If you go with the driver, then it narrows in and you've got that bunker there. And then by the time you get to the green, you've got that pond on the right hand side that we saw on the 10th. Problem with the wind coming here is that some of these trees on the right hand side could come into play. You don't want to end too far on the right hand side of the fairway. So we're going to aim towards the edge of this bunker and hope the wind brings us back onto the fairway. Slow backswing. It's okay, that means we're not going to be anywhere near that bunker, I think. So we're uphill, but we've got helping wind. So want to stay away from that slope on the left hand side. Let's make sure we get it on this top right part of the green. That should be okay. It was going right a bit further than I thought. That's a decent result. So we're downhill and we've got this side slope to reckon with. Let's try about there. That's a nice safe par. It's hard to see the hole there. Let's put the flag in. There we go. Hole number 13. This is the longest par 3 in the course. Ooh, and the pin's in the trickiest spot here by the look of it. So it's on the kind of narrowest part of this green. It's still a decent size, but kind of tucked in. There's this bunker here that surrounds this portion of the green. So downhill and we've got a helping wind. So that should be okay. Maybe even too much. That doesn't feel like enough. If we overrun, we could end up in the bunker. If we're short, we could end up... To be honest, I'd rather be in the bunker than chipping from about there on the fairway, I think. Let's try that. slow backswing. That could help. That could help. That takes half a club off. How about that? That's not bad. I didn't play for that. But it's a nice flat bit of green here. A little bit of left to right. And when I putt, I tend to hit it a bit left to right. Let's try that. Ah, didn't have quite enough. Another safe par. Excuse me. Right, hole number 14. This is probably the hardest hole on the course. It's quite long, it's uphill. A couple of bunkers round about the landing area. And then quite a long uphill approach shot to this green. The green itself is relatively flat, but it's getting there is the problem, although the wind is helping here. So we shouldn't have any problem getting over that bunker. Another slow backswing. Oh, it's more. So it's more uphill than I remembered, and that slow backswing did not help at all. So this is horrible. We have problems on this hole. Number one thing not to do on this hole is land in that bunker. I don't know what's going to happen if... What happens if you try and hit a 3-wood out of the bunker? Should we find out? And the sensible play is just to hit it past that second bunker, so we've got a nice wedge in, or pitch, because there's plenty of space. But let's see how close we can get. Another slow backswing. I need to sort this out before the next go on the tours. So, flop shot. Uphill. We're not on the upslope yet. So that might be a bit far. Helping wind as well. That might not be quite far enough. Might be okay actually. Let's give that a go. More slow swings. So I'm making this hole look hard, and it is the most difficult hole on the course, but it's not as difficult as I'm making it look. That should be about right. Bit of a slope, not that much. Oh, I thought that looked good. And that is a bogey. Four holes left. Next one is the last par 5 on the course. This is the 15th. So here we've got a fairway with trees on either side, which we haven't seen that much of. And it doglegs down the hill, right to left. And then your approach, depending on where the pin is, could be over that water. Yeah. We need to make sure we don't land in the water with the approach. Flag's back middle of the green. If you end up too long, it looks like you'll end up on the 12th fairway. So our wind's not helping. That should be okay. At least we didn't get a slow backswing this time, which is good. So 300-yard drive. How far away does that leave us? Can't quite reach it with a 3-wood. I've been considering putting a 2-wood into my bag, but I haven't done it yet. I think here it would be useful. So we're downhill, wind's against us, but there's not really any benefit to landing, to finishing up around there and bringing the water into play. So let's be sensible. Let's just go with a 5 iron. No, let's go with a 5 hybrid. Make sure we end up short of that water. Oh, that was a horrible swing. Might end up in the rough. No, that's okay. Oh, this is a horrible distance. So it's too long for a flop. And what's the shortest pitch? And it's too short for a pitch. So we could loft up that pitch, or go for a partial pitch. Could try a partial pitch. I want to get about 90%, maybe a bit less. Which is not there. It's about there. 100%, too far. Oh, but I got a very slow backswing. I do not understand how that shot worked, but it worked. That was a bit of luck. Oh, I thought there's more move on that. Well, that should have been a birdie. But it wasn't. Such is golf. 2 5s in a row. So we finish with 3 par 4s. This is the 16th. It's pretty sure it's the shortest... Oh no, it's probably the second shortest par 4 on the course. There's the drivable par 4 on the front line. And it's got, I think, probably the smallest green on the course, with that bunker in the middle, bunker behind. Flags on the right today. So again, if you go with the driver, you'll probably end up in, there's a little hollow in front of that bunker, which tends to collect the shots. And it's probably a flop shot from there. But then if you want to go with something a bit shorter, you end up on the narrowest part of the green, or you can go even shorter if you want to, and leave yourself a full shot in. Let's go with the driver. The driver's helping us move it around that tree on the left hand side as well. Hopefully short of that bunker. Another slow backswing. I need to sort out my tempo. So that's probably a flop. Oh, again. This is the same distance we had before. So it's a bit long for the flop. And it's going to be too close for the pitch. What should we do this time? For a change, might try taking a load of loft off the flop and see what happens. That's not bad. Chance for birdie. Oh. So what happened? I pushed that putt. Again, I'd like to point out that I've scored -12, I think, on this course. Obviously my tempo and my putting was better that day. So another par 4. Again, not that long. There's a kind of long fairway area there. Lots of bunkers on this one. But none of them really come into play unless you're trying to be too clever. But then the approach shot towards the water. So that's the lake that we saw in the first hole. So you can, it's probably a full wedge in from there. If you end up down here, it's more of a pitch shot in. But the fairway also slopes from right to left, which tries to kind of push you into the water a little bit. So you can try and get a bit clever and land it over there, but then you're in danger of hitting that bunker. So let's just make sure it goes into the middle of the fairway. Then we'll deal with whatever approach shot we have. Let's go. So we've got a full wedge, helping wind, and it's downhill a little bit. That won't be far enough. That could be a bit far. So I might take a little bit of loft off. Sorry, add a little bit of loft. Just to make sure we don't do anything silly and end up too close to that water. How about that? Even today's poor putting, I can't miss this one, can I? There we go. So last hole is hole number 18. So tee shot over the water, depending on where you're trying to land it. Then it's an uphill approach. See a little poppy field up here on the right hand side. There's some red poppy flowers in there somewhere. And then up towards the clubhouse on the top of the hill. So this is the other side of the lake from the first. So this is the first over here. That was the first fairway. Other side is the 18th. So wind's helping here. So we shouldn't have any problems making it over this little bit of the water here. So if we go back there, we should be okay. Oh, that could be a bit close to the rough. The hill might save us. Yep. It's uphill there. That helped out. But quite steeply uphill. So 25 feet, helping wind, but that hill is going to add some loft to the club. 25 feet is a decent distance. Let's go with that. Might be a bit long, we'll see. Yeah, a bit long. Yeah, pitching pin high. Just trickling off the back. 10-yard chip. So I'm normally no good at these 10-yard chips, but I'm going to try just lofting it up rather than doing a partial swing. Let's see what we get. It's not too bad. That very slow downswing didn't help. That's pretty flat, isn't it? So I'm probably going to push it. So let's aim for the left middle. Oh, just. So there we go. That's Westerberg Clearings. Yeah, give it a go. Search for it. If you type in Westerberg, it should appear. Have a play, and if you want to let me know what you think, there's threads on the HV forum site, and there's a thread on the TGC Tours site as well. If you have any feedback, positive or negative, I'd love to hear it.